Imagine going to work or being in a space you trust and slowly feeling pressured to change something as personal as your belief or religion. Not in a moment, ये एकदम से नहीं होता. This happens gradually over time. जब आप एक्शन लेने की सोचते हैं, you feel like you cannot say no now. You feel trapped. The TCS Nasik case has raised some serious questions. There are FIRs, arrests, and allegations that this continued for a very long time. And unfortunately, this is nothing new. We have seen similar concerns raised before in different forms in different places, which raises a larger question. If this is illegal, if the law already exists, why does something like this still happen? Because on paper, this is already addressed. So पहले समझते हैं हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमें क्या राइट देता है. See, under Article 25 of the Indian Constitution, you have the freedom to choose and practice your religion. And under Article 21, that choice is part of your personal liberty and your dignity. Also, there was a famous case back in 1977, Reverend Stanislaus versus State of Madhya Pradesh. That is where the Supreme Court clarified you can share your beliefs, but you cannot force, manipulate, or pressure someone into changing their religion. So, this is clearly not new. It has been settled for decades now. Several states already have laws on this. If conversion happens through pressure, deception, or inducement like money or other benefits, this is illegal. There are also procedures to ensure that the decision is voluntary, because of course the voluntary conversion is legal. But if someone is being threatened or pressured, that becomes a criminal issue. And for workplaces, there is a separate law against sexual harassment, the POSH Act, जो कि इस केस में allegedly हुआ है. This basically requires complaints to be addressed internally, because in this case it is not just about religion, it is about consent and misuse of power. So legally this is not a grey area. Laws and rights exist. But फिर भी ये क्यों होता है और कैसे होता है? Or where does the law actually break? It begins in silence, when the pressure is subtle, when it builds slowly, when a person feels dependent financially, socially, or professionally. Often the victims do not speak up early, so things continue quietly, sometimes for months, sometimes for years. And by the time it reaches the police, it is no longer prevention, it becomes reaction. And this becomes more serious when pressure or inducement is actively created by certain organized groups, as it has been allegedly reported in the TCS Nasik case. That's why in such cases, what matters is what happened at the first point of reporting, whether the concerns of victims were taken seriously, because by the time it reached the police, the delay had already happened. That is the gap, not in the law, but at the first stage, because the remedies already exist. But this depends on whether concerns are recognized early and whether people are aware that they can act, and this is illegal. So the real issue is not whether laws exist. It is whether they are used at the right stage, without delay and without fear. Otherwise, even the strongest law remains strong only on paper